Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Please leave a like and subscribe if you like stories. That's why I'm here. I do lots of other things as well though, but tonight it is the fairy tale, The Black Bull of Norroway. In Norroway, once there lived a certain woman, and she had 3 daughters. The eldest of them said to her mother, "Mother, bake me a bannock and roast me a collop, for I am going away to spotch my fortune." Her mother did so, and the daughter went away to an old witch washerwife and told her purpose. The old wife bade her to stay that day and go and look out of her back door and see what she could see. She saw nothing the first day. The second day she did the same and saw nothing. On the third day she looked again and saw a coach and 6 coming along the road. She ran in and told the old wife what she saw. "Well," said the old wife, "that's for you." So they took her into the coach and galloped off. The second daughter next said to her mother, "Mother, bake me a bannock and roast me a collop, for I'm going away to spotch my fortune." Her mother did so, and away she went to an old witch washerwife, and her sister had done just the same. So it was as before. On the third day she looked out of the back door, and she saw a coach and 4 coming along the road. "Well," said the old wife, "that's for you." So they took her in, and off they set. The third daughter said to her mother, "Mother, bake me a bannock and roast me a collop, for I'm going away to spotch my fortune." Her mother did so, and away she went to the old witch washerwife, who told her to look out of her back door and see what she could see. So she did, and when she came back she said she saw nothing. The second day she did the same and saw nothing. The third day she looked again. When she came back she said to the old wife that she saw nothing but a great black bull coming crooning along the road. "Well," said the old wife, "that's for you." When she heard this, the girl was next distracted with grief and terror, but she was lifted up and set on the bull's back, and away they went. Aye, they travelled and they travelled, till the girl grew faint with hunger. "Eat out of my right lug," said the black bull, "and drink out of my left lug, and set by your leavings." She did as he said, and was wonderfully refreshed. And long they went, and saw they went, till they came in sight of a very big and bonny castle. "Yonder we must be this night," said the bull, "for my old brother lives here." And presently they were at the place. They lifted her off his back and took her in, and sent him away to park for the night. In the morning, when they brought the bull home, they took the girl into a fine shining parlour, and gave her a beautiful apple, telling her not to break it till her heart was like to break, and over again like to break. Then she was lifted on the bull's back. After she had ridden far and farther than I can tell you, they came in sight of a far bonnier castle, and far further than the last one. The bull said, "Yonder we must be this night, for my second brother lives there." And they were placed directly. They lifted her down and took her in, and sent the bull to the field. In the morning they took her into a fine room, and gave her the finest pear she had ever seen, telling her not to break it till her heart was like to break, and over again like to break. Then she was lifted on the bull's back, and away they went. And long they went, and saw they went, till they came in sight of the far biggest castle, and the far farthest off they had yet seen. "Yonder we must hear tonight," said the bull, "because my young brother lives here." and straight they were at place. They lifted her down, took her in, and sent the bull to the meadow. In the morning they took her into a room, the finest of all, and gave her a plum, telling her not to break it, till her heart was like to break, and over again like to break. Then they brought the bull home, set the girl on his back, and away they went. And long they went, and sore they went, till they came to a dark and ugsome glen, where they stopped, and the girl lighted down. The bull said to her, "Here you must stay till I go and fight with the old fella. You must sit yourself on that stone and move neither hand nor foot, not until I come back. Else I'll never find you again, and in everything rooted about you turns blue. I have beaten the old fella, but should all things turn red, he'll have beaten me." She sat herself down on the stone, and by all around her turned blue. She was overcome with joy. She lifted the one foot and crossed it over the other, so glad that she was the black bull's friend, and the black bull had won. The bull came and sought her, but never could find her for that. Long she kept ere she wept, till she wearied. At last she rose and went away. She knew not where to. On she wandered, till she came to a great hill of glass. That she tried all she could to climb, but was not able. Round the bottom of the hill she went, seeking a passage over, till at last she came to a smith's house, and the smith promised, if she would serve him 7 years, he would make her iron shoes for her to climb that glassy hill. At 7 years' end, she got her iron shoes, climbed the glassy hill, and came to the old witch washerwife's house. There she was told of a fine young man that had given some blood-stained shirts to wash, and whoever washed the shirts was to be his wife. The witch had washed, and then she set her daughter to, and both washed. They washed, and they better washed, in hopes of getting the young man. But for all they could do nothing to bring out a single stain. At length they put the girl to work, and whenever she began, the stains came out pure and clean, and the old witch made the young man believe that it was her daughter had washed the shirts. So the young man and the daughter were to be married, and the girl was distracted at the thought of it. Then, because her heart was like to break, and over again like to break, she took the apple and broke. The apple was filled with gold and jewels, the richest that she'd ever seen, and she shoved them to the daughter. "I will give them you all these," she said, "if you will put off the marriage for 1 day and 1 night, and let me into his room alone." The daughter took the gold and jewels, but the witch made a sleeping drink and gave it to the young man. He drank it and never woke till morning. And all the while the girl lay by him, sobbing and singing, "7 long years I served for thee, the glassy hill I clomb for thee, thy bloody sark I wrang for thee, and wilt thou not waken and turn to me?" But he did not. The next day the girl did not know what to do for grief. She thought that her heart was like to break, and over again like to break. So she broke the pear, and found it filled with gold and jewels, far richer than before. She took the gold and jewels to the witch's daughter, and the marriage was put off for 1 day and 1 night, and she was let into the young man's room all alone. But the old wife gave him another sleeping drink, and he again slept till morning. And through the while the girl lay sighing and singing and crying as before. "7 long years I served for thee, the glassy hill I clomb for thee, thy bloody sark I wrang for thee, and wilt thou not waken to turn to me?" Still he slept, and she nearly lost hope altogether. But that morning the young man went out, and he met a shepherd, who asked him what noise and moaning, what that he had heard all night from the young man's chamber. The young man said he had heard no noise, but the shepherd said that there was so, and that the young man should stay awake and hear. The third time, the girl brought the plum as she thought her heart was to break, and break again over. So she broke the plum, and inside the plum she found golden jewels, and by far the farthest rich of all. She gave them to the daughter to put off the marriage for another day and another night, and for herself to be with the young man in his room alone. The witch gave the young man another sleeping drink, but he told her he could not drink it that night without sweetening. And when she went away to fetch honey for the drink, he poured it out and made her think that he had drunk it after all. Then he went to his bed. The girl came and lay by him and sang, 7 long years I served for thee, the glassy hill I clomb for thee, thy bloody sark I rang for thee, O my bonny bull of Norroway, wilt thou not waken and turn to me? He heard and turned to her, and she told him all that had happened to her, and he told her all that had happened to him. And he had the old witch washerwife and her daughter burnt, and he himself and the girl were married, and they're living happily till this day, for all I know. And that is the story of the Black Bull of Norroway. If you hadn't guessed it, the Black Bull was the man who had been enchanted, and they were in some sort of enchanted land. That's why she weren't meant to move. So when she moved, obviously, she lost herself in this enchanted land, and the fact that he won meant his enchantment were broke. So he then returned back to a man who was able to seek to get his clothes washed from the blood from the fighting, obviously, as a bull. So that's sort of the story, is that the man at the end is actually the bull, and it was an enchantment, and they were in an enchanted land, and the spell had to be broken, but she wasn't meant to move, and she did. So she got lost in the enchantment as he went on his way. So I just wanted to explain that to you in case you did not realise that that's what the story was about. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and many blessings.